Ekta Takrani. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will continue with Civics Chapter 5, that is Working of Institutions. So in the previous videos, we have talked about legislature and executives. Executives who are bringing the laws into action. They are executing the laws. Okay, so among these executives, the major role, there are many people who are being the part of the executives, but they are the head of the government, we can say, or the leader of the political party. We are talking about the Prime Minister. So here in this video, we will be seeing the powers of the Prime Minister. What are the powers the Prime Minister enjoys? You know, he is known as the head of the government. As the name says, directly the constitution is not defining the powers in a wide range, but he is the Prime Minister who actually exercises extreme powers. Okay, all the major decisions are taken by the Prime Minister. Though I told you with that example of the office memorandum that there is no single person to take all the decisions. Similarly, it is with the Prime Minister. He is not the only one who takes the decision. He, along with all his ministers and all, they all discuss. But whenever there are disagreements, there are clashes, he is the Prime Minister who is actually finally deciding, taking the final decision. Okay, so let us begin. We will be seeing point by point, and I request you just sit with a pencil and or pen, just note it down the important points. It's very important and helpful for you. So the powers of the President. Okay, so let us begin. He is the head of the government, as the name says, head of the government. So he is having wide-ranging powers. Okay, this I explained you. Next, he is the one who actually exercises all the government powers. When we say government, I told you, whenever we use the word government, it is actually for the executives. Executives, they take day-to-day decisions, how the laws will come into action. What to be done, how to be done, so they discuss and decide. So he is the Prime Minister who decides this. Then the cabinet meetings are headed by the Prime Minister, and he is the one who is taking the final decision, all the decisions in the cabinet meetings. In the last video, I told you about cabinet meetings, where the top level ministers, cabinet ministers and all, they sit together and discuss. So the Prime Minister is taking the major decision. Next, what he is doing? All the different ministers. I told you there are about 60 to 80 ministers in the Council of Ministers. What is Council of Ministers? The whole group. Okay, it's a name given to the body of ministers, where 60 to 80 ministers are there. So when they all come together, the Prime Minister is the one who is allotting the work. He is coordinating and controlling the functioning of the ministers. He is distributing the work and redistributes. He distributes and redistributes the work. He is the one who is assigning the work to the ministers. And if the Prime Minister is not happy with the ministers, if he is not satisfied with their work, what he can do is he is having the powers to dismiss. The Prime Minister is having the power to dismiss the ministers. Another very important power, he is having the power to dismiss the ministers. He is assigning the work, distributing and redistributing the work. Even he is supervising. He is keeping check on them, what is happening, how it is happening. If he is not happy, he can even remove them. So you can see all these three functions, giving them work, supervising them, and he can even dismiss them. Next, as they are working in a team, I told you there is no single person with all the powers, they all work as a team. So if the Prime Minister quits, the entire ministry whom he has elected, he is appointed as different ministers, they all have to quit. Another very important point, you can't say a power, but very important fact we must know, that if the Prime Minister quits, the entire ministry has to quit. Okay, now you know it is not now. Even from the past decades or in the past it is seen, like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru being the first Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi, and all these people, they were having a lot of powers. They enjoyed a lot of powers being the Prime Minister, and now also it is seen in the recent decades it is increasing. With time, the powers of the President is powers of the Prime Minister is increasing in all the democracies. Modern democracies are giving more powers to the Prime Minister. So now all these modern democracies are also known as prime ministerial form of government. We have got the new term prime ministerial form of government, because prime minister being the head of the government, being and having the most extreme powers, who is functioning, coordinating and supervising everything, almost it's done by the prime minister. So that is why another name is prime ministerial form of government. One more fact I want to share here is, I told you he is having a lot of powers, but there is some exception when there is coalition form of government. You know coalition, when there is no single-handed majority party, so the parties come together as an alliance and they work together. So here the prime minister cannot take ultimate decision. He has to look after both the parties, the members, the ministers, all the factions are there, no? Different alliances, two groups are together. So here the prime minister has to see everybody, he has to satisfy everybody, and they will be working together as a team. So there is a little difference when there is a coalition form of government. Otherwise, you can see the powers enjoyed by the prime minister. So in this video up to here, in the next video we will be discussing the powers of the president. Okay, till then you prepare well. Goodbye.